Hey guys, so it's time to talk about this week's episode of Scandal. There was a lot going on, a lot of crazy kind of deep stuff, and I definitely feel like the last two episodes are starting to move Scandal into a direction that I'm kind of excited about. Now, there was quite a lot of things that happened in this episode. I am not going to talk about all of them, but I'm going to talk about some of the bits that I really liked and some of the bits that seemed really important to me. Let's talk about Cyrus for a second, right? Because Cyrus has been off his game this season, you guys. And rightfully so, right? We get that Cyrus is still mourning the fact that his husband is dead, but he is fallen for this like little fake prostitute guy way too easily. There's a leak that happens throughout this episode, and by the end, Cyrus is finally waking up to the fact that this guy is responsible for it. So I'm kind of excited to see him go into like Cyrus Bean mode and like kick some political booty. Another cool little part of this episode was Huck. So the whole episode, he's kind of distracted as OPA is dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff. He's like playing this video game the whole time and he seems really happy. And I just was like, what is going on? By the end of the episode, we get that he's actually playing with his son. The son doesn't realize that it's him. He thinks it's just another kid that he's playing with online. But you get how happy it makes Huck, and I just thought it was so sweet. Okay, one of my favorite parts of this episode was Mellie and Bitsy. Let's talk about like the meeting of the first ladies. So it turns out that a president has died, and so his first lady comes to the White House to basically help to plan his memorial service with Mellie. You know, you see this cute little old lady with white hair, and at first you're thinking like, oh, isn't she just the sweetest little thing? And her name is freaking Bitsy. I mean, like, come on. But then it turns out that Bitsy doesn't play, and I kind of loved her character quite a lot. Bitsy and Mellie end up alone, and they have lots of conversations. So from Bitsy, we get that her husband, when he was president, that basically Bitsy was in charge. Bitsy was the one who did all of the policy making. She was the one who really ran the country. And her husband just pretty much slept around with a bunch of different women and got all the credit. You definitely got that their conversations throughout the day had an effect on Mellie. I mean, let's remember who Mellie was, especially season 1. We knew that Mellie had ambitions, that she wasn't gonna be just some like throwaway first lady, but she had plans, you know, to make herself successful as well. And obviously a lot of that has taken a back seat after their son died and all of the things that she went through. But it was like her conversations with Bitsy really kind of re-energized that part of Mellie. And then by the end of the episode, we see her kind of saying something to the press that she knows is going to put her husband, she knows is going to kind of paint him into a corner. And she does it for political gain, really. All along, we've gotten that Mellie wanted to be first lady, but I think it was so much more than that. You know, she wants to be extraordinary herself. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But, I mean, as long as it's done in a good way, which Mellie probably won't do. Through their conversation, right, you get that Bitsy's husband was sleeping with a whole bunch of different women. And while he was doing that, while he was distracted, she was off pretty much running the country. And I felt like Mellie really kind of grabbed onto that. And so I'm wondering if Mellie's not going to just kind of take that attitude on when it comes to Olivia and Fitz. That she's just going to be like, hey, you want to go play with your little mistress, you go do that. But while you're off playing, I'm going to be over here doing some things that you don't know about. Pretty much after this episode, I'm thinking that Mellie is back. Obviously, last week we had the whole shower scene with her kind of washing it all away and getting dressed and hopefully burning those Ugg boots. But I felt like this episode was more than just about kind of the outer Mellie returning. This was kind of about the heart of Mellie. And here she's got this other first lady telling her, like, you can take it, you can get the power, you can run this place. And I definitely think Mellie took some of that to heart. Okay, let's talk about Olitz and let's talk about Jake. Where to begin? I don't even know where to begin. Olivia really wants to see Jake, right? But Fitz is not having it. I must say, I loved that moment when Abby kind of just was like, screw it. And she goes into the president's office and in the Oval Office pretty much tells him like, I'm not talking to you as the president. I'm talking to you as the married guy who used to sleep with my friend. You need to tell her something. I just thought it was so courageous of her to do it. Go, Abby, go. Or should I call her Gabby? Eventually, Fitz caves on that point and he lets her go see him. And that scene was just so like, it was kind of heartbreaking, right? Because you pretty much get that Jake's given up on trying to prove that he was innocent. And he's telling Olivia, like, here's my bank account number, give the money in the account to my mom. I mean, it was just like, this is the end. There was this moment, too, where he says to her, like, I knew that you were never gonna choose me, and that's okay. Like, I need you to know that that's okay. That I wasn't gonna be the one that you chose. And that was like, oh, straight to the heart. It was like, I kind of felt bad for him, you know? I mean, obviously, it's like you want Olitz to be together, and I know a lot of people were over Jake, but I just felt bad for him in that scene. I totally did. Fitz really does think that Jake killed his son, and so he gives him over to Rowan, you know? Like, he gives him back to command. Because Rowan tells him, oh, let me punish him, he's my dog, bloody, bloody, bloody. And Fitz falls for that crap. Olivia kind of begs him pretty much in the end, like, look, if you do that, if you give him to my dad's gonna kill him. And if you do that, there's never gonna be any hope for us again, right? And that scene was really powerful, right? Because she says that, and then that instantly kind of piques his interest because he's like, are you saying that there's hope for us? You know, and she's yelling, and then he keeps yelling that, like, are you saying that there's hope? Until finally she says, yes, there's hope, you know, but there's not going to be any hope if you do this. And so we know that Fitzgerald Grant, above everything, loves him some Olivia Pope. And so in the end, he ends up doing what she wants. He ends up taking Jake back, giving him to the DOJ, like he's gonna get a trial, he's gonna go to jail as far as Fitz is concerned. And yeah, Rowan definitely does not love that. I'm just ready for the truth to come out about who killed the son. So can't wait for that to happen. I'm hoping that's something that's gonna happen before the winter finale. Speaking of that, can you believe that we only have 2 more episodes before the winter finale? I feel like the season seriously just started and we are only 2 episodes from the winter finale? Like, really? Y'all are killing me. You are killing me. Hopefully within the next 2 episodes, we will discover the truth. Now, there was kind of another layer of mystery added at the end when Quinn finally finds the locker that this key belongs to. And what does she find in this locker but a folder that's full of pictures of Olivia Pope? So I was like intrigued and confused by that. I'm kind of excited to kind of see what that was all about. It was definitely a shocker when they found all the pictures, so I'm kind of excited to find out what the backstory about that is. Okay, you guys, that's it for me this week. I thought it was a good episode. I think the last couple of episodes have been really, really good and some of my favorites of this season so far. Like I said earlier, I really feel like we are finally kind of headed into the right direction. And I mean that about the storyline, but also about a lot of the characters. I just felt like a lot of stuff was happening that was kind of like stuff getting rehashed over and over again. So I'm kind of excited to feel like the show is moving into a new direction. I feel like that's been true of the past 2 episodes, so I'm kind of excited to see what's coming up next. Don't forget to tell me what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.